Hello, hello, my beautiful people. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Goretti, and today I am going to be talking about mindfulness. And some of you probably have heard of the term, but if you haven't heard of the term, mindfulness is basically just you being aware of the thoughts that you're having. This is a topic that I go over with my clients on a regular basis. It's something that I keep bringing up, and it is the reason that me and probably other, therapists and people will suggest doing things like, deep breathing exercises or meditation, especially meditation. So the whole point of mindfulness is for you to become aware of what thoughts you're having. What is happening for you in that moment? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? And the reason that meditation is such a great practice for mindfulness, or at least to teach you and train you to get into that habit of being mindful, the reason it is so good is because when we go within, when we get quiet, when we quiet our mind, when we just, sit there in quiet or listen to meditation music, and we're going through and we have thoughts come up and we let them go. I always tell people, in meditation, just think of like a leaf, that fell onto the river and the river is flowing and the leaf goes away. Just allow the thoughts that come into your mind to come in and then go out. And over time, right, because those thoughts are coming from your ego, over time, they get less and less and less. And the whole purpose is so that you can finally get to that place of really hearing your inner you, your inner voice, what is going on within. And the reason I point to the heart center is because really it is coming from your heart. So when we're stuck in our minds, the issue is that is our ego. And what is ego? Ego is there to protect us. Ego is there from, centuries ago, from the beginning of time. It is there to help protect us from danger. Way back when we were living in the wild, right? We needed to be protected, from things like, hunger and being, eaten by animals and that kind of thing, right? Anything, that was kind of threatening our survival, right? So that's what the ego is for. But in today's world, we don't really need it that way. I mean, yes, we do sometimes, but really we don't. And so we have all these fears come up and these things come up because of the ego. And the ego can only use what is in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind, or what I call inner programming, childhood programming, typically from our childhood for 6 to 10 years. Our ego is collecting all that information, and all our beliefs and everything come from that. And then when we're adults, 95% of our life, I'm sure you've heard me say this, is run by our subconscious mind. So the ego comes up. So what mindfulness is, it's like, and the reason meditation is so great is because meditation is so that we can quiet our mind, so we can quiet the ego, right? That's where all that thinking is, that logical thinking. It's all coming from the ego. We think it's reason, but actually our subconscious mind is really running the show. So we want to quiet that ego. I call it, the chatter. We want to quiet the chatter so that we can go within and we can connect to our heart space. So we can connect to our inner self or our spirit, if you believe that, right? So we want to connect to the inner you to hear that voice within, because the ego is very loud and obnoxious. Okay, it really is. It had to be for, to keep us alive, for our survival. But the spirit, or our inner self, the inner you, is actually quite soft. It's quiet, it's gentle, gives us little nudges, or it whispers in our ear, kind of that feeling, obviously not like physically doing that, right? But metaphorically. So when we go within like that and we quiet the chatter of the ego, then we can hear within. This is why, you always hear, to connect to your heart, follow your heart. And a lot of people think it's their heart, and it's really not. It's their ego, right? So by doing meditation, you can go within and you can actually connect to your heart. When you get rid of all the ego chatter, you can hear what your heart really wants. The inner you. Mindfulness is, the same thing, just on a moment to moment basis. It is while you're very consciously awake and aware. I mean, when we're meditating, we are consciously awake, but we go into theta brainwave, which is kind of like that just about to sleep, fall asleep state. And so with mindfulness, it's really you paying attention to your thoughts and feelings in each and every moment, or in as many moments as you possibly can or would want to. So for instance, let's use eating. A lot of times we're eating, in a hurry, in a rush, in the car. We're rushing through our meals, just to get the food in and go. And we're not really being mindful of what we're eating. So sometimes we'll overeat, when we really didn't need to, or we don't even realize that we've eaten. So a lot of the things that we do, our mind is included in that. And so if we're mindlessly, that's why, that word comes up. If we're mindlessly eating or mindlessly doing things, we're not really getting the full benefit or full effect. And so if we can be mindful, pay attention to what your thoughts are and your feelings, then we can make better choices, then we can discern things, then we can, be more at peace, experience things better, even the good stuff. So mindfulness, if you're being really mindful of what are you eating, what are you putting into your mouth, when you're mindful, you realize, oh, this is like really greasy junk food. Like, I actually don't want this. When we're mindful of eating, we choose a healthy meal, we're mindful like, wow, look at all the nutrients that I'm putting into my body. I'm really nourishing my body. I'm loving myself. This is what mindfulness is. The other thing, that I teach my clients, to use mindfulness about is in regards to self-love and how you feel about yourself. And what you think about yourself, and those old subconscious negative, childhood programs and beliefs, because one thing happened and you think you're not good enough, or you think you're not worthy, or you're not loved, or you're not valuable, or whatever it is, right? So if we can be mindful of the thoughts that are coming in and pay attention, here's what tends to happen. As soon as you start becoming more mindful in one area or different areas, you're going to start to notice that you become really mindful about everything. You're going to start to hear the inner voice. You're going to start to hear, the inner voice. You'll start to be able to hear your inner voice. You're going to start to, in regards to that, you'll know kind of like that inner part of you is saying, go here, or do this, or call this person, or go look at that. You're being kind of led and guided by the inner you, your intuition, that inner voice. But also, as you become more mindful, then you realize, oh, this is the negative thoughts that I'm having. Like, I got this tape playing. I don't like this. I don't want to be saying this stuff to me, And then you're mindful of those negative thoughts, negative stories, negative ideas, and then you can catch them, stop them, and shift them with something else. And I will also make a video actually on, affirmations, because that's such a big piece of, the work that I do with clients, in regards to how you feel about yourself and, what you believe you can have in your life. So mindfulness is a really big first step. I teach all my clients this, is to be really mindful of what you're thinking, what actions are you taking when there's good things happening. And you are mindful and you're in the moment. You're very mindful, meaning you're in the moment. You can actually fully experience those good things, whether it's eating that, dessert or the awesome meal, or like having that first cup of coffee in the morning. That's like my thing. Or, spending that time in nature and just being really mindful and putting your electronics away and, just enjoying and feeling the breeze And what sense do what things do you smell, and what are you hearing? Is it birds? Is it ruffling of leaves? What is it? So being mindful allows us to really like appreciate the things, the good things as well, not just paying attention to the negative voice, in our mind, and changing that. Okay. So mindfulness will also help you not only to pay attention to how you're talking about yourself, so you can kind of change and reprogram your mind, which is what I call it, but it will also allow you to really experience the good things and to be present in the moment. And when we can do that more and more, because you guys, really, this moment right now is the only moment that we have. If we can be present in the moment and be really mindful, we're also going to enjoy things in life better. Our life is going to be richer, more fulfilling. All right, my loves, I hope this was helpful for you. As always, please do all the things, like, share, comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I respond to all of you guys. Share this with anybody you think that might need it. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed already, I would love to have you here as part of this ever-growing butterfly community. And hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos. And yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say to you guys. Thanks so much for being here. And as always, I wish you all peace, love, and light. Bye-bye.